Apparently Julius Randle was potentially going to go to the Hornets. That was something they were trying to get done. Who knows what is actually going to get done. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks just didn't do anything at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes them a wild card to see what they like. This guy who has been, I mean, maybe this was their plan. I don't know what their plan was, but their GM taking over, basically, I'm sure he had a word, but not as much as he, you know what I don't know what I'm exactly trying to say here. Like, this guy with 48 hours notice is just like the ball's in your court, man. Like,
yeah, it's like his team now. He gets to decide really what's going to happen. He gets
and
more
at the end of the
say.
day, it's going to go down to Dolan.
Yeah.
Like, dude, apparently there was like a thing. He was like, he banned people from from Knicks games forever because they were chanting like they were yelling at him to sell the team. Apparently that's a thing that he's done before. But basically the entire crowd the other day was chanting "sell the team" at him.
Yeah, I heard that.
But yeah, that's what I heard before. Apparently he banned people from Knicks games for life.
Well, he's gonna have to ban a lot of people from that last game. That was
ridiculous.
The whole crowd was chanting that towards the end.
All right, so we'll see what happens there. And you can stay up to date on our Instagram, like Mark said again. Let's Talk Balls Pod on Instagram, and we're gonna be posting like breaking news. This man has been traded, all this stuff. So if you want to stay up to date on the NBA trade deadline rumors, look at our Instagram because we'll be posting about it. So let's go to the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves really want D'Angelo Russell, apparently. That's the big thing with the T-Wolves. Apparently, the Golden State Warriors are just not interested at all. They don't want to move Russell right now. Who knows? No player's untouchable.
Yeah.
Besides a select few.
If the price is right.
Yeah, if the price is right, you can get them. But I know, like, one big thing. So they were in talks with a three-way deal, which would have sent Robert Covington to Houston, Clint Capella to Atlanta, and picks to Minnesota. And does that even make... Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Atlanta will send picks. Pretty much makes sense.
Yeah.
So Minnesota would get picks. They would move on from Rocco. Capella would go from Houston to Atlanta. Before they pulled the trigger, they pretty much hit up Golden State and was like, yo, if we get all these picks, well, can we have D'Angelo Russell? And they were like, no. So that trade didn't go through.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, one of the big things is that they're trying to move Rocco right now, dude. Like, he's a 3-and-D guy. I mean, I feel like Rocco has almost been the definition of your 3-and-D player.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you hear a lot of people being like, he's like a Robert Covington-like player. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he gets referred to a lot by other players.
That's a common thing.
Yeah, it's sort of like what you look for.
He's not elite, really good on... He's, like, not an elite player. He shoots well. He's really good on defense.
He'd be good coming off the bench for you guys.
Yeah,
for
basically.
Whoever.
I mean, for pretty much any team.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much every team can use an extra 3-and-D guy.
Yeah, he's a solid bench player for sure.
I don't know. I'd love to see him back in Philly. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But apparently that's a big thing. Like, the asking price for Rocco is super high, though. They want 2 first-rounders.
Yeah. No. Not happening. I don't know who is going to agree.
Apparently, like, I don't know if that's just like they're trying to start high and then work their way down, but apparently that is the asking price for Robert Covington is 2 first-round picks.
That's a bit ambitious, if you ask me. I mean, I don't think he's worth 2 first-round picks, but you could certainly get a different deal done.
2 first-round picks
That's
is
insane.
A steep price to pay.
Yeah.
A very steep price to pay.
It's a bit ridiculous.
I don't know. Do you see... I think Rocco will probably get moved.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think because they can probably... I mean, I get why they might want to try to aim really high with the 2 first-round picks because he's a good player that can help a lot of really good teams move them forward, but I just don't see a team giving up 2 first-rounders. That's insane. It's ridiculous. It's not going to happen.
For Covington.
Yeah, dude.
I love myself some Robert Covington. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. They really... I don't know why. I guess because they just want to start up high, and then you come
Yeah,
by.
that's what I mean. That's what you're like hoping is unless they're like, if you're that high on Robert Covington, you think he's worth that much, you should not be trading him.
Yeah. Then what's the point of trading him? Exactly. You're 100% right.
So we'll see what happens with him. And then after that, let's move right on to Houston. Houston is finally shopping Clint Capella.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been like not a rumored thing, but it's been something where they're like on the fence about doing it for a while. But they're finally shopping Clint Capella.
Yeah, there's sort of been some talks about it recently.
Like you said, Boston really wants him.
Yeah.
He'd fit well there, man.
That would suck for us.
That would suck.
That would be awful.
That would suck if
that would
Clint
be
Capella
really
went
bad.
to Boston.
Please don't do that.
I don't know. Apparently Danny Ainge this is a quote from Danny Ainge. Apparently he's saying like we have too many young guys or too many very young guys or something. And I don't know if he's bluffing, but apparently that's the thing. Like Danny Ainge is trying to make a splash at the trade deadline, bring in some like more veteran players because of the amount of young guys they have.
They are a young team.
They are young,
but I mean, are you not going to get Clint Capella just so you can bring in a veteran?
No, I think. I don't know. I think he'll bring in Capella. Honestly, that would be my prediction if Capella ends up somewhere. I bet he gets sent to Boston.
Yeah.
It's really going to suck, but for some reason I feel like it's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
I feel like Capella's going to end up there. I mean, this is a quote from Bleacher Report. It says, "Active feels like a good word to describe Danny Ainge's tenure in Boston Celtics front office. Year after year, Boston is attached to scores of rumors regarding trades and free agency. This week, Woj reported their interest in Clint Capella. He appears to be telling a different story unless you consider Capella an end-of-the-bench guy." All right, so this is the thing. I just kind of like confirming, what I read earlier. So Danny Ainge is like pretty much, it seems like he's set on the stars of their team, and his idea would be to add more bench players. Clint Capella is not a bench player.
No. He's a very good
If you're
starter.
telling me Clint Capella is coming off the bench for Enes Kanter.
Then they'd have some issues.
The only difference is like Capella is kind of expensive for Boston. Like he would take a decent amount to get.
Yeah, because he's that good.
So like Capella's really good, and it's going to be different. Like James Harden basically just hands him dunks all the time because they're so worried about covering Harden that he's pretty much wide open for dunks constantly.
Yeah, and
that's not going to quite be the case in Boston.
No. He's also very good on defense too.
Yeah, Capella's a beast.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's going to be funny to see what every team looks like after this because it's always weird when you see people in new uniforms. Like it's still weird to me. Like I feel like 5 years from now, it's gonna be like that thing where like, remember when Jimmy Butler was on the Sixers?
Yeah,
like for like half a season.
Yeah,
it was just like
and I feel like I'm gonna have to. My kids are gonna think I'm lying when you tell them that KD, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden were all on the same team.
Well, yeah, we're all on the same team.
They got drafted to the same team. They're gonna think I'm lying. They're gonna call me crazy, and I'm gonna say, no, kids, that really happens.
I don't know. It's just going to be different. Like it's going to be weird for me to see Clint Capella in another jersey.
Yeah,
that's one that's like really weird to me. But it's not like crazy where I'm like, oh, I thought he's just going to be in Houston forever.
Yeah,
just like a thing where it's going to be a little strange.
All right, so if you guys have not done so already, on Instagram we ask you questions and your thoughts about certain ideas on our posts. And if you comment something that you want us to talk about, we'll shout you out. So this is just to show that we don't lie. We tell the truth about this stuff. So shout out to B-Train Brisbane on Instagram wanting us to talk about the NBA trade deadline. So I know him personally. Great guy. Go follow him on Instagram. But if you comment on our latest Instagram post about something you want us to talk about, a topic or whatever it is, we will shout you out over on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. So let's move on to one of the other things is that the Pistons won a lottery pick for D Rose. I wouldn't give up a lottery pick for D Rose.
Yeah, not now.
D Rose is a win now. Like, you're about to win and you need a guy to come off the bench and add some scoring.
Yeah.
If you have a point guard like a James Harden, D Rose wouldn't be bad to come off the bench. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. But if you need shooting, D Rose is not the guy to bring in if your biggest interest is shooting. I don't know. I just think it's like teams are asking really, really high. And, of course, you need to ask high, but it's kind of getting like 2 firsts for Covington is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think a lottery pick for D Rose is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a bit much. And it also goes to, like, if you ask that much, some teams might not even entertain the idea. They might not even call them up to ask
like
them what
if I
they
was
want.
like D Rose, if I was trading a first round pick for D Rose, I would want it to be like top 20 protected.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and imagine if you're D Rose, your career, you're not getting any younger, so you want to go on a team that has a chance to win the championship. He's probably not too thrilled with trying to get traded for a lottery pick in the first round because he probably knows no one's going to do it.
Yeah.
And he wants to go out and he wants to win a ring. So
yeah, I don't know. It would be cool to see D Rose get a ring.
Yeah, I would definitely make me feel good.
This is like one of the biggest things in the trade deadline talk. Is Andre Iguodala was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. It was a deal, but it was like agreed upon between Iggy and the Grizzlies that Iggy would not report to anything related to basketball for Memphis until they find a trade partner. He's not going to play for the Grizzlies, basically. And the Grizzlies agreed upon that. They would find someone to trade him to. They haven't found somebody yet. Andre Iguodala is prepared to sit out for basically the entire season and however long they keep him on the team. As long as he's on the Grizzlies, Iguodala is prepared to sit out until they trade him to one of the teams that he has approved on his list, which you got to think is probably only
some championship contenders.
Probably like 10 teams.
Yeah.
Not even.
Probably less than that. Just teams that he thinks are going to win and have a chance to win.
Yeah, I'd say like 6 to 8 teams.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go on a team like the Grizzlies who aren't going to win right now.
The biggest thing with this is Andre Iguodala the type of guy who can threaten to not play the whole season if he doesn't get if he doesn't get traded?
He's not that good.
Like, he's good, but he's really old.
I don't think he's got the ability to say...
Like, he's 36 years old.
Yeah, I don't get how he can just be like, I'm not playing for you guys unless you put me on a team that I want.
And I love Iggy, but it puts them in a weird scenario because they really want to find a trade partner because it's like, if he gets dropped, he's going to get picked up by somebody.
Yeah, but is anybody going to want a player like that on their team? Someone who's aging, a decent player off the bench,
They will. It's just
maybe?
like, all right, so he makes $11 million a year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, he makes $11 million a year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Like look at this. So he played 68 games last year. He averaged 23 minutes, just under 6 a game. He averaged 2 threes a game. His 3-point percentage was 33.
He's 50% from the field goal.
Yeah, 50% from the field goal. Like,
not a great free throw shooter.
58%. He's like career-wise, he's never been a great free throw shooter.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, I don't know. Like, the way Iggy's talking about it, and it makes me upset because, I don't know, it seems like he's almost being a dick. Like, dude, just fucking play for the Grizzlies. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, you already want a ring, multiple rings.
Yeah.
You want a finals MVP.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking play for the Grizzlies, man. Like,
just be a vet coming off the bench for these young guys, dude.
Like, look at fucking Vince Carter, bro.
Yeah, he's not
playing
sitting
for the
out.
Hawks.
God.